Welcome to Wilbur D. Rowe Middle School, where the teachers are great and every single kid is cool. Truly learn with a common goal. We are safe, respectful, and responsible. Home to math minds, some of the best readers, musicians, athletes, scholars, and web leaders. Lots happening in this wonderful place, and there's only one way to stay up to date. So if you got a case of the sandbox blues, hit the YouTube, check the Shamrock news. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Not a thing that we cannot do. Growth mindset, it's the Shamrock news. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Welcome, Shamrock stars, to another edition of Sham News. I'm David.
And I'm Hayden. Let's start the show with an OBOB announcement from Mr. Dix and Mrs. Vernon.
Read a book, read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vernon and Mr. Dix here.
What up?
We're ready to start talking about Battle of the Books.
That's right. Battle of the Books 2017-2018 is ready and underway, and it is time for us to gather teams and for you to sign up.
What's pretty cool is that we've been talking to kids in the hallways and in class, and there are so many of you who've already stopped by to talk about how you want to be a part of Battle of the Books, and you already started reading some of the books, which is crazy cool.
Yeah, and now Miss Vernon has all 16 novels, I have all 16 novels, and we have all 16 novels in the library, so we are ready to go. So here's what you have to do. You need to find 3 or 4 other people to be on your team, and you are going to fill out a sign-up sheet that Miss Vernon has, that I have, that's in the library, and that is also outside of the OBOB bulletin board. That's right, that's a lot to say. So you're gonna fill out that sheet, you're gonna turn it into me, Mr. Dix, in room 219, and then we are going to have a meeting in November where all of the people who signed up for Battle of the Books are going to come, and we're gonna talk about the schedule until we battle.
Something that happens every year is that we get a couple kids who really want to join Battle of the Books, but who don't have their team yet. And I just want to say, that's totally okay. We still want you to come to our first meeting in November. We will find you a team. Last year, the team that actually won for our school was like a team that was made, wasn't it?
It was just a collage and a hodgepodge of random students that had no friends, and they all became friends together, and they won the whole thing. So we want you, even if it's just you, to come out and we will find you a team. Some of you may be worried that you can't participate in Battle of the Books because you're in Mesa or you're in chess club, but guess what? That's totally fine. As long as you're at the first meeting, from there on, you can still go to your chess club and Mesa meetings. As long as you check in with Miss Vernon or me and your teammates, we can make it happen.
Yeah,
So
November.
Battle of the Books coming November. Sports with books. Battle, compete against other people. You get an awesome, really cool free t-shirt. It's like the greatest thing ever.
See you then.
Read a book.
Read a book.
Read a book, read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K.
Remember, the Route PTA fundraiser is on the way. Let's get out there, sell those items, and help raise money for our wonderful Wilbur D. Rowe. Why'd you do that?
What did I do?
Follow us for upcoming events, important information, entertaining videos, and the latest and greatest of the Shamrock news.
Also follow our Twitter at RMS_Shamrock. Follow our Instagram at RMS_Shamrock. And don't forget about our Facebook at www.facebook.com/RouteMS.
Your book starts today after school. If you are interested in signing up, get to the cafeteria by 4:10 p.m. Mr. Clark will then come pick you up from there.
Welcome. Oh, hi there. What's up, guys? Welcome back to your weekly yearbook reminder. Would you like to help create everlasting memories for the rest of the school?
Do you want to take photos of events, assemblies, classrooms, and other students?
Are you interested in creating content with computers to do so? Then join Yearbook. Our first informational meeting is Wednesday, September 27th in Mr. Clark's room.
Meet in room 221 at 4:15. The meeting will be over at 5:30. There will be an activity bus home.
Be a part of something great and rise to a challenge. Join Yearbook. Woo!
I sure wish there was a place where people could understand me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, then you guys should join Rowe Unity Team. Unity Team is a safe place for LGBT+ students and allies to meet, talk, support one another, and plan school activities. All students are welcome, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. All right.
We will be meeting on Wednesdays in Miss Purpitch's room 108.
Here we are. Our first meeting will be Wednesday, September 27th.
To sign up, register for the after-school classes, and meet in the cafeteria at 410. Wednesday snacks and bus home are available.
Last week, Rowe Cross Country ran their wonderful little hearts out of their first cross-country meet of the season.
Nice.
Because my dad wanted me to. Two, I don't know. I just did. So.
How did you feel about this race?
I felt good about it, but I think I could have done technically better. It was really rocky. There were blackberries everywhere, mud, but I think I can do better next time.
I joined cross country because I love running and track season doesn't come till later.
How do you feel about the race?
I feel like I gave it my all and the place I got was one of the best I could, and I'm gonna beat it one of these days.
So why did you join cross country?
I did it to get in shape for my other sports.
I did it because these two said they'd choke me out if I did it. I did it because I like running and my friends did it, so we could do it together.
And I did it because my twin's doing it. I did it because last year I didn't do it, and they said that it was
Oh my God,
fun.
you're so cute.
Year and I liked it, and then I did it the past year, so I did it again. How'd you feel about the race? I felt good, really muddy, and got dirty.
We are looking for submissions for the fall edition of the Rousing, so if you've got poems, songs, stories, drawings, comics, etc. that you'd like to share with the community, send them our way. Our way.
The Rowe Zine is a publication where we highlight and showcase the authors, poets, songwriters, artists, and comic book creators at Rowe Middle School.
We are currently accepting submissions for the 2017 Rowe Zine.
This year, our zines will be uploaded to the Rowe Rights website. More information on that will be coming later.
Our theme will be autumn, so anything that you can create that relates to autumn. If it's a song or a poem or even a little sketch, that's okay. Submit it to either Mr. Dix's room at 219, or you can email it at rousine@gmail.com.
The first meeting for the 27th annual Washington, D.C. trip will be occurring in Mr. Slack's room on Tuesday, October 10th, 2017 at 5:30 p.m.
The answer we've all been waiting for was Mr. Dix and Miss Welker's tomato garden worth it. Here's what you rousters had to say.
When are we ever?
When are we ever?
When are we ever gonna use?
When are we ever gonna?
When are we ever?
When are we ever gonna?
When are we ever gonna? When are we ever?
When are we ever?
When are we ever gonna use this?
So this problem is really two problems that eventually merge into one. The first problem would be the expenses that the cost of the garden, and the second is the how much money we made from the garden. The first problem is really just multiplication, and then you just add all of that together, 41 and 1 cent. The second problem is a little bit harder. We have how many tomatoes we grew from the garden, and Roma tomatoes and vine tomatoes. We have the weight of each type of tomato, and we have the prices of each tomato at the store. We have 720 Roma tomatoes from the garden at 1/8 of a pound, and since 8 tomatoes would equal a pound, we should divide that by 8. And that means we have 90 pounds of Roma tomatoes. We have 120 vine tomatoes. Each vine tomato is 1/6 of a pound. So if we get 6 vine tomatoes, that would be a pound. So dividing 120 vine tomatoes by 6 vine tomatoes would be 20 pounds of vine tomatoes. Then we take these are still separate at this point, and then we find the prices of how much of each poundage of tomatoes would cost at the store. And that would be, and then we add that together, and the total would be $228.90. We find the difference between our expenses and what would have been bought at the store, and then we end up with $12.11 more money to get a garden than to buy it from the store.
So, it would not be worth it this year, but next year, after you divide how many tomatoes and how many tomatoes, like vine tomatoes and Roman tomatoes that you have, and how much they would cost at the store, then how much next year the starter cost would be, it would actually be a lot cheaper than the year before.
I think this year it was worth it because you spent either way. If this year you spent more money for all the equipment you needed than the actual harvest money you made. But if they do it next year, they would already have saved $162 with 44 cents. So they would make more money next year than this year.
I think it was worth it because next year you're gonna have all the equipment, the sprinklers, the tomato cages, and the growth lights. So even though this year you kind of spent $12 more than you made, next year it's gonna be better because you're probably gonna make, I think, around $100 or $70 next year.
I think it was worth it because not only do you have the tools for next year, but you have like the tomatoes and everything. And the tools, they actually cost $12.11 more than the tomatoes themselves. But if you grew them next year, then I think it would definitely be worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. Have you seen how happy growing food makes Mr. Dix? Have you followed his Instagram? He's got pictures of tomatoes, pictures of peppers. He's got like tomatoes in his pockets. He juggles them. He like piles them in like skulls of conquered heroes. No, he doesn't make sense. It was totally worth it because it brings him joy and love, you know, and it makes him happy. And how can you put a price on that?
When are we ever?
When are we ever?
When are we ever gonna use?
When are we ever gonna?
When are we ever? When are we ever gonna?
When are we ever gonna? When are we ever?
When are we ever?
When are we ever gonna use this?
I'm so hungry every day before school starts. I always forget to eat breakfast.
Why don't you eat at school, bro?
Because I don't have money to buy breakfast every day.
You don't have to buy it. It's free.
Free breakfast?
Yeah, dude, so free. It's really free.
No, there's nothing there. You ruined it.
Dude, you ruined it.
Every morning before school, we are pleased to offer breakfast to any and all students.
Once 9 o'clock hits, you'll be allowed to come into the cafeteria. All you have to do is grab what you need and enter your student ID.
We've got many different food options such as apples, pears, cereal, milk, cereal bars, bananas,
pancakes,
breakfast sandwiches,
French toast,
pizza,
string cheese,
and more.
Delicious.
Mrs. Jones' art class is creating a social change with the sidewalk chalk art project. Let's head outside and on the scene to check the words and pictures of wisdom.
Going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
So this whole project is like a public service announcement. Forest fires and school shootings and like diseases and like the world running out of their oil source, and we're just doing this little art project of little chalk drawings of like maybe a gun, a planet with kind of like oil coming out of it or something like that. All these things are actually happening, and we just want to let people know that they should be aware of it.
My square of cement was about microaggressions because a microaggression is a small act of hate or like racism using stereotypes, and an example of one is, are you like a guy or a girl? And it's like, that's messed up because that's like someone's personal business and maybe they don't want to talk about it.
Mine is basically, it's a mixture of like power of imagination and staying in school, because like it's supposed to be a person that's like breathing out imagination, and then there's two sides, one with people with imagination, stuff they might say, and then people without imagination, what they might say. So it's sort of supposed to be like people who stayed in school, they have all this creativity. People who didn't, they just kind of, they're out there not knowing what they have to do.
Our project is about Earth and how that in about 50 years, maybe 200 years, we don't know, we will be running out or run out of oil. And if the production of factories, cars, and other things like fidget spinners, and other stuff like that keeps getting made, we're gonna keep running out of oil.
Okay, so my group like sidewalk chalk PSA thingy majibbity is about how like 90% of forest fires are caused by people and how fires are bad.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Do you got what it takes to be the king or queen of the board? Are you a knight in shining armor or a rookie? Come to Chess for Success Club in the after school program. It's Pontham.
I really wish I could be in Checkers Club right now. Don't you mean Chess Club? Same thing. Hey guys, it's that time of the year again. Chess is here. Come to room 220 to get a permission slip.
Thanks for your time, folks. It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next week for another incredible, amazing, spectacular, tubular, outstanding...
Yo, get it, man.
Sorry, outstanding episode of Shamrock News.
Catch you later.
Wrong. Really.
My name is Anna, and I want to make a Shamrock shout out to Miss Vernon for being an awesome teacher.
I'm Caitlin. I would like to give a Shamrock shout out to Riella Birch because she's awesome!
Hi, my name's Nadia, and I'm giving a shout out to Jackson, Noah, Kale, and Jonathan, and Elizabeth, and my step cousin Sandra.
I'm Chloe, and I want to give a shout out to Sandra.
I'm Bayla, and I'd like to give a Shamrock shout out to Ariel.
Hi, I'm Ariel, and I would like to give a Shamrock shout out to Bayla.
I'd like to give a Shamrock shout out to my friends Hunter, Angie, and Sebastian, and Belle, I guess. Your name. I'd like to give a Shamrock shout out to all my friends here. Yeah, and my best friend Fiona.
Hi, I'm Kelsey, and I'd like to give a Shamrock shout out to Mr. Tate, Mr. Slack, and Mr. Clark.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I'd like to give a Shamrock shout out to Mr. Slack because he's a bomb teacher.
I want to give a Shamrock shout out to Cole Corbin, just because, I don't know why.
Hi, my name's Emily, and I'm going to give a Shamrock shout out to my mom and Miss Vernon and Anna.
My name's Cole, and I'd like to give a Shamrock shout out to Leo.
Hi, my name is Selena, and I'd like to give a Shamrock shout out to Yunoda.
We are the Shamrock News Team, Day 2, and we want to give a Shamrock shout out to Mr. Dix!
Remember, the PTA fundraiser is underway. Let's get out there.
Hi, I'm Chelsea, and I'm in 8th grade.
Follow our Instagram at RMS_Shamrock.
As I'm standing on a tree outside. What song is that?
Battle of the books. What's on?
You want a revolution? So listen to my declaration. We hold these truths to be so.
Okay, we're looking at the math, and I can see that it definitely wasn't worth it to grow these tomatoes this year. But my thinking is, what about next year?
Welcome, Shamrock Stars, to another edition of Sham News. I am David, and I am Let's Start.
I have an idea. I'm just gonna keep it. Wait, Derek,
It's really cool.
I'm looking at a lot of one-time purchases, like the grow lights and some of the stuff to set up. I want to know, what if they do it again next year? What happens then?